Hey sister cousins, welcome to my channel. I'm Lady C and I'm here to tell you how I feel. Like and subscribe if you're new and run it up in the comments. Let me know you stopped by. Now, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16, episode 7.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, girl, so let's try to get this thing done really quick because this episode was pretty mid, all right? So we open up the episode with girl Brit and her husband. That man don't like her.
He needs some milk.
I don't mean to laugh, but girl, she thought she was being cute, putting her leg up to the ceiling. And he was like, girl, put your leg down. You doing too much. And it's just like, girl, you know these cameras are rolling and I'm trying to put on for the camera. I don't like that. Like, don't kill my vibe. Like, roll with it. You know what I'm saying? It just feels like he either is very, very camera shy or he's just an a-hole. I'm just going to go with a-hole, okay? You know, take my little barely advice with a grain of salt, but girl, it don't look solid. And you know another thing? I feel like the viewers are never wrong, ever. Every time there's been trouble in paradise with these housewives, no matter the franchise, we can spot it from 1,000 miles away. Sure, we might not spot it in our own lives, but that's not what we're talking about. We're tuning into you and yours. So girl, yes, we could smell when the relationship or when the marriage just ain't quite.
Where's my husband? Until you get a husband, do not address me. Know your place. A man didn't choose you because she ain't that a man and she's talking to me. 80 carats, bitch. Where is your ring? What does she have? A successful business? A beautiful child? So we are currently getting divorced. I get that man everything, you know, and the cheating I can handle, but when I found out he slept with my brother, it was too much. So now I just put myself first. Like I always say, you don't need a man to be happy.
So today's episode feels very Drew centered, right? It was still mid, but Drew was the star of the episode, all right? So Drew goes over to Angela's house, girl, and they have a little chat. Girl, first of all, Drew, now, sister.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
We just too long in the tooth to be making up stuff. And Angela was right, like, girl, like, cut it out. You know what I mean? From the time Drew stepped onto the franchise, I never disliked her. Like, I just can't gel with. I would be so annoyed if she was in my friend group. Like, she would annoy me. That lying, just making up stuff, you know, and then like, oh no, I'm just playing. Like, girl, it just irritates me. Her and Angela are talking about the whole, I was gonna say petty brunch. I don't even know what the brunch was supposed to be called, girls, because all kind of chaos ensued during this little brunch at Kelly's house.
Read the room. Why is she not here? Read the room. Read the motherfucking room.
And so they was like, you know, Brit came in a little hot, and I understood where Drew was coming from, talking about how Brit seemed to be gloating about the departure of Kenya, right? The thing about it is, though, Drew, I just want you to stand on business and say, well, no, Kenya's my friend. Or, you know, I know Kenya, so that's why I care. Like, you just, what? It's just like, girl, stand on your own 2 feet, girl. Like, you know? Moving on, Angela and her little shady girl, what I tell you, Sheree, aka Candy Burris, girl, just a shady girl. The food was barely good. I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, so moving on, it just feels so refreshing to see Cynthia in a less stressful environment where she doesn't have to give a whole lot, because a lot of people's complaints about her over the years was that she kind of lacked, not necessarily personality, but like a storyline. And I'm sure that's a lot of pressure to be up under when you're in that type of role. So I really like Auntie Sin, girl. I love her, okay? And this friend, I get to hang with the nieces. Roll, girl. I love it.
They look petite. I'm like, they look petite.
Okay, so they all gathered down to Kelly's house for a little lunch or whatever, right? Girl, Brit, baby. Girl, you are not a girl's girl. I don't know why you think that a person like you, who's not a girl's girl, would think that or expect for someone else to be a girl's girl. Girl, to attract a girl's girl, you have to be a girl's girl. Brit, girl,
Why the fuck you lying?
you still want to center this whole entire situation as though you are the only victim. You know, like, girl, you're in the circle, all right? But Kenya is also the victim as well. And I just don't feel like you or want to acknowledge, and that is the part of being accountable. Now, see, I already said it in another video, I don't care about apologies. I care about you holding yourself accountable. To me, the way she responded to Drew, the way she responded to Angela lets me know you really could go off and take it too far again. And it's like, once again, if you take it all the way to hell and somebody's like, well, girl, I'm already here.
I was waiting on you at the door.
Now you're like, oh my God, I can't believe she took me there. I'm just so, like, girl, you still lying to yourself.
Why you always lying?
And I just, girl, I'm trying to be understanding, but my patience is wearing very thin, okay? And speaking of patience, girl, Portia, come on. Why are you so angry with Drew if you do not care? Cynthia called it out. She said, for somebody that don't care, you sound like you care. She reminds me of men, right? And a lot of women who are very male-centered emulate their behaviors. So for Portia, it feels like she has this territorial thing about herself, right? She believes Dennis belongs to her. Kind of how, you know, a lot of women complain or speak on how their children's father feels like they could just get access to you anytime they want it. And that's kind of what Portia is given. Like, she feels like she kind of owns him. And again, she's a very controlling, or she's displayed a very controlling type of personality on the show. She has to control the narrative. You know what I mean? Which is why I believe that Portia and Shamia are going to have some type of friction, because now Portia is no longer in control of the narrative. She is also a housewife, and so therefore she gets to tell her own story. She gets her own confessional. She has, you know, she has a bigger voice on the platform. But let me get back to the task. But Portia, you dragging it with Drew, and I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't like it. But she's planning a little birthday party, so. And she's like, well, I'm not going to invite Drew. This is a cast trip, even though this is a birthday trip. And I'm just like, okay, girl, all right. But I just don't like how she's treating Drew and whatnot. You're forcing yourself to be angry, and you really just need a punching bag. And Drew is the easiest target. And it just irritates me because she will not fight back. But Ange, girl, I don't like that you call yourself going to invite Drew, because
You in danger, girl.
in my opinion, I don't think you were looking out for Drew's best interest. Drew is really going through a whole lot right now. See, I hadn't even got to the court portion, but all of the things that's going on in her life with Ralph and this basement situation and everything just around Drew right now, it's just a lot. And to invite her into a hostile environment with Portia, it's a little messy. Drew's real life is happening. And the show aside, I just feel like that was just not the good move. That I don't like that. Have you liked and subscribed? I would just, I mean, I ain't saying nothing, but I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of Drew, girl, Drew and Ralph go to court. Girl, it does not go in Drew's favor. Girl, I have been in a situation similar where you feel like the world is stacked up against you. You have this man in court lying, you know, doing whatever he can just to win. Not caring about the kids, not caring about, he just wants to win. He just wants to, you know, crush you. And I just saw it in his smug, disgusting, evil face. Like, when I tell you that man can't, bitch, let me tell you something. If I ever see that man, girl, I'ma roll my eyes so hard, okay? I swear to God. From his first season ever, he has been a menace. I cannot, like, Drew, like, I know that, you know, separating is hard, but let me tell you something. Stop trying to protect men from themselves. That is a grown man, okay? And I understand, you know, you want to use the kids. Let me tell you this. Them kids, they're going to find out. So all that protection stuff, they actually, to me, in my opinion, and I know my opinion ain't worth nothing, but it's all right. Girl, they need to know the truth, okay? They need to understand who their father is. And I'm not saying that you have to bash him or anything like that, but trying to shield them from the inevitable, to me, is more dangerous than just letting things fall how it's going to fall, all right? If and when the kids find out who their father actually is, it is not your responsibility to cover him, to make him to be this great person if he's not, okay? I think they would appreciate it more if you made sure that your mental health was good and you got everything that you need out of this situation than to be worried about him. Girl, unseal them damn records. Unseal it, unless, girl, unless you got some few skeletons back in the closet tucked away in a shoebox somewhere, then, you know, I understand why you don't want to put your stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, girl, and that weirdo is trying to live in the basement because he just wants to have some type of access to know that he can affect you the way he's been affecting and manipulating you all these years. Like, girl, when I tell you he is so tired, it makes me so angry because you know, we all know somebody who's been in a situation with a narcissist. From the time we all laid eyes on him, that was everybody called him a narcissist. Like, and I don't even like to throw that term around like that, but him, for sure. For sure. You could see the twinkle in his eyes knowing that he's girl. Anyway. So I was glad that, you know, her and the sister, like, she was really down and out. And so her and the sister went on ahead and went to the little club bar, got their little barely section and, you know, just had a nice little sisters outing. Oh, but then, okay, so Drew and Brit had a little sit down and they tried to iron everything out. And I thought that was cute.
Did you ever sell it? Did I ever? The cat.
I thought that was good that they, you know, kind of hash things out. But I feel like, Drew, again, girl, like, don't let Brit play with you.
I have not done. I have not. Excuse me.
I just feel like Brit tries to test you. You know what I'm saying? I think Kenya made a very good point on her confessionals episode, saying that Brit is trying to be the villain. She wants to be the villain. So any opportunity for any type of conflict, she is going to fuel that moment. Even though all Drew said was like,
You are funny.
Oh, man.
You really know it.
I
Really
love
made me
it.
laugh.
I love it.
Like,
Well,
for
I'm
real,
glad
that
I can
was
make you laugh.
people keep saying, oh, she belongs on Love and Hip Hop. I feel like she belongs more on like Love and Basketball. You know what I'm saying? Because Love and Hip Hops, I feel like Love and Hip Hop, I feel like them girls are like one tier above the baddies on what's that? What's the name of that? Zeus. Girl. So Zeus, baddies, Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, then the Real Housewives. Okay. So yeah. I just feel like, that was cute. Her and Drew got their little differences ironed and they gonna move forward. That was nice. So then we get to the girls trip, right? Which is where we end up stopping because we are going to pick back up for the rest of the girls trip next week. So anyway, Portia, the house was nice, but even I took my girls to Houston, Galveston really. And we all had lovely accommodations. We didn't have 19 beds in one room. We didn't have a bunk bed. That was one thing that I did not want, was like a bunk bed. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, girl, at this big age, as soon as you saw those bunk beds, you should have clicked right on up out of there, okay? Girl, because that's childish, girl. But the house is nice. They had a nice little spread. I was kind of hungry because I'm fasting today, so it kind of got me a little, a little hungry. They got chefs, and the girls had their cute little cowgirl outfits, and, it was a cute little, you know what I'm saying? But Angela arrives late. They was all talking shit about her. I guess she felt it, or maybe on the replay she watched it, but girl, they was all talking about her, and Portia Ange tells everybody that, yeah, I invited Drew. And so Portia was like, okay. And I understand Portia, like, girl, no, I wouldn't be happy either if I were you. However, Portia, you acted like everything was okay. And I guess you were just trying to get along. But the way y'all jumped her down to the dinner table later on that evening, I just did not like that. Like, girl, why not cuss me out when it's just the 5 girls? Why wait until it's a group of 14 girls, plus the other 5 or 6 girls that are auditioning for the friend role? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like Portia, and you could tell that some of them girls was auditioning because they was making little comments, like they were trying to have a little moment. What have I gotten myself into watching this show? Am I in an upside down world? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need a break, a mental break. And I'm so glad I got a good week before I have to watch it again, because I had crash coursed it the first time, or last week, when I had downloaded the app. So I had, did a little 1 through 6. But now I'm feeling like y'all are not about to stress me out, girl. I found my first gray hair. Like, y'all are really trying me, okay? So, and another thing, girl, Kenya said a lot of things, girl, because we find out just how basic Miss Bangkok is, okay? Girl, first of all, not Kelly was over there sharing stylists and outfits with you, girl. Like, when I tell you it's giving Make-A-Wish Foundation, the Brit Edie edition, like, I just feel like you are signaling for the cameras, but it's not what we think it is. And I'm just picking up on that because everyone else seems to, like, have a thing going. But girl, I wonder what outfit you brought to the trip, girl, because if Kelly had to style you, what was your outfit like? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, girl. Anyway. Oh, and okay. So Angela, all the girls, when they were sitting down to the table and they were making comments about Angela seeing Kelly and Brit at Neiman's. And so Brit said that she thought that she had surgery, right? And so there was a moment where Ange had went and said that she got fillers in her nose to, like, swell it up some. And I felt so bad for her. Like, girl, that really got to you, what they said about your nose, or what Shamia said about your nose. That really affected you, and that makes me sad for her, you know? Just a little, you know. Oh, and girl, Brit, now. We can't go around saying stuff if we ain't got no receipts, baby. Because one thing's for certain, two things for sure. The girls and the viewers love receipts.
Y'all come with receipts and motherfucking invoices.
I'm not saying it's not true, but if it is, you gotta bring a little bit more than just hearsay. And that's another thing. Like, girl, you are giving all of this smoke all off of her asking what was the cause. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, then she got jumped. Girl, this was not Angela's episode. Because, girl, then she got jumped down to the dinner table once again. Girl, they was all, you know, getting on her. And it was just a mess. Girl, this episode was just so mid. I mean, it was some stuff, you know. But at the same time, it was just like, girl, I don't know. So that's all I got for today's episode. It wasn't like a whole lot going on. I'm sure we're going to really get into the meat and potatoes of the situation next week. And we'll just have to check in when it happens, okay? Go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you're really about that life. And I'm going to talk to you guys later, all right? See you later. Bye.